Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Physics Surgery. This is Olympiad workout series, and as promised in the last workout series problem, we are going to look at the INPHO 2019 problem number 1, right? It deals with Snell's law application in sound waves. Okay, so let's see. So the question was already shared in the previous question, and I asked you to try it out for 1 or 2 days, and then I said I'll present to you the solution. I hope you have done that. And in case you are new to this channel and watching this for the first time, you just try to pause the video here, try to take down the question, and give it a try for at least 15-20 minutes, right? So, and there are 4 parts to the question. So this is the page number 1. Let me go to the page number 2 so that you can take a snapshot and try, and then only please go to the solution. So once you listen to the solution, then the entire essence of the solution would be lost. The concept that you are supposed to learn from this beautiful problem will not be purposeful. Okay, so these are the 2 pages, right? So there are 4 parts to this question. Each part carries different marks. Marks are given at the end. You can call them points. Okay, right. So for those who have already tried, let's go ahead with the solution. So the question deals with lower part of Earth's atmosphere. Temperature decreases with increase of height. Choose the origin of coordinate system at the ground level with the y-axis vertically upward and x-axis horizontal. We assume linear decrease of temperature such that the temperature at height y, he's directly giving it as a linear decrease. As you could see, T naught into 1 minus by, where when y is equal to 0, T naught is the temperature at the ground level. The constant of proportionality here, B, is given in some value. Okay, we consider the propagation of sound in xy plane. Okay, so only in the xy plane he's talking about, right? Because sound actually travels in 3D. So for the sake of solving this problem, is only considering that particular light sound rays. Ignore any attenuation, that is loss of energy, reflection, and diffraction of sound. So here you're mostly considering sound as rays rather than waves. Okay, so all the wave effects are being neglected in diffraction. So the first question, if V naught is the speed of sound at the ground level, obtain an expression for the speed of sound at a height y in terms of V naught and B. Okay, right? Please understand, you're talking about lower part of Earth's atmosphere, right? So it's very close to the Earth's surface that you're talking about. So let's go question by question. So I've pasted the information from the question here, and this is the first question. You could see A, right? So we know that the speed of sound, right, follows the Laplace equation gamma RT divided by M, where gamma is the ratio of specific heats of the ideal gas, assuming air is an ideal gas in this problem, and M is the molar mass of air. Okay, so T is the temperature at that place. So since the temperature changes with height, we expect the speed of sound also to change with height. So I just substituted the given expression into this, brought the T naught out, and this entire stuff outside is nothing but the velocity V naught at height equal to 0. So it's obvious. So he's asking V in terms of V naught. So simple expression, 1 point is in your kitty. So V is equal to V naught into square root of 1 minus by. Okay, let's go to the B part, second part. Suppose the sound propagates from origin with an initial angle of theta naught with x-axis, right? So I've drawn, let's suppose the sound starts from Earth. This is, assume, the spherical atmosphere of Earth, and sound starts at this place with an initial angle of theta naught with x-axis. So it's not horizontally starting, it's making an angle. Obtain an expression for angle theta made by the direction of propagation of this sound ray with the horizontal at height y in terms of the original angle theta naught and the constant B. Okay, so this is the question. So you need to understand the actual path of the sound ray would be a curvilinear one. So, and if you go for higher heights, what actually happens is that the normals that you're going to draw, right, because Snell's law are supposed to be used in this problem, the normal that is drawn at y is equal to 0 and normal that should be drawn at some y much greater than 0 would actually not be the same, because this is a spherical distribution of atmosphere. Therefore, normal at different places would make a different angle. But in this problem, since you are talking about very close to the Earth's surface, we can safely assume that the normal at different places is still along y-axis. Okay, so that's what was mentioned in the original question. So I'll assume that as this thing goes, this is almost like a equinormal curve. Okay, so same normal direction of y. So if I go to the starting place at the start and zoom the diagram here, right, the first ray that is coming out, he said, is making an angle with x-axis at theta naught. That's what he said. Theta naught is the initial angle. So as it goes to new positions, I think I can apply Snell's law at different places. So instead of applying step by step, I can directly apply Snell's law from the first place to the final y position. That's the trick that we have used even in a lot of JEE advanced questions of light rays. So we are doing it for the sound rays. Okay, so and I'm also understanding the fact that the temperature is reducing. So since temperature reduces, speed reduces as it goes up. If speed reduces, the medium is set to becoming denser medium, and in a denser medium, the rays are actually going to bend towards the normal. That means they start making a bigger angle with x-axis. So that's why I've depicted this theta at some other place. Remember, this is not just direct. This is from one position to another position directly depicted here. Actually, these two rays would be separated by some height. I've directly written the diagram. So this angle theta and this theta naught are related to Snell's law. Snell's law talks about angle made with normal, so you should be very careful here, whereas the theta that is mentioned in the question was with x-axis, that's horizontal. So sine of angle with normal is proportional to velocity at that place. So I took that sine of angle with normal would be 90 minus theta naught originally, divided by original velocity, should be sine of 90 minus theta divided by the velocity at any arbitrary position. So I substituted V and V naught ratio from the previous problem, the one that I got, this V by V naught ratio into this one, and then I ended up getting cos theta versus cos theta naught relation. He wanted theta in terms of, so he expects you to write in the final answer paper this expression. And PHO people are very, very strict with your final answer, so you can't leave it in this format. To get the full points allotted to the question, you need to go with this expression. So cos inverse of cos theta naught, remember cos theta naught is a constant, square root of this function. So that gives you question number 2. Obtain an expression for x and y coordinates of a point on the path of propagation as a function of theta. So he's now wanting x coordinate and y coordinate of the traveling curve in the functions of theta. Theta, remember, is the angle made by the ray at any arbitrary position with x-axis. So it's like that curve's tangent makes an angle theta with x-axis. So I've drawn this for our convenience. So rearranging the previous answer that you got, remember y and theta that you got here, I'll just rearrange it. So instead of this is very simple actually. He asked theta versus y in this question, and he's asking y versus theta. So you should not panic and you should immediately write this particular answer. I just rearranged it. Then x is slightly more mathematical in nature. X versus theta I can get by taking the tangent slope as dy by dx. Okay, so dx value, if I rearrange, is dy by tan theta. I brought this down. And dy I'll substitute by differentiating this thing. So when I take dy here, the first term goes off. Second term, remember the bottom is a constant, so only I need to differentiate cos square theta. Cos square theta's differentiation would be minus 2 cos theta sine theta d theta minus each minus, and you get this. It's a simple expression. Just you need to integrate x without panicking in the exam, and then you end up getting this. And then you have to integrate. Remember, at x equal to 0, initial angle was theta naught. At x equal to some arbitrary x, angle is theta. So then you have to integrate. Remember, all the constants you need to get out are b cos square theta naught. So only this part needs integration, which becomes actually cos square theta, which I wrote it as 1 plus cos 2 theta. Expression and these numbers I have manipulated. And once you do the integration, which is familiar to you, and then you will get this upon substituting proper limits. Don't forget the limits. Don't put 0 here. You'll get a wrong answer. Okay, right. This is the final answer. So these are the two parts. Once you write, you'll get the full marks. Then last part. Okay, this is the most interesting one. For this part, assume the direction of propagation of sound to be horizontal at origin. That means in the previous problem, it said angle is theta naught. Now he's asking us to take theta naught to be 0. For the case where y is of the order of 100 meters or less, obtain an approximated expression relating x and y. That is asking trajectory equation, y versus x. He's asking us to eliminate the value of theta. Obtain x for y is equal to 2 meters. So substitute and get the value. Okay, so I borrowed the answer from the C part that I got in the previous case, nicely substituted the given numbers. Theta naught is 0 and y was given as 100. I realized the value of theta comes out to be 3 degrees. Okay, 3 degrees is a very small value, and for 100 meters itself it is 3 degrees, then the angle below the 100 meters should be lying between 0 and 3 degrees. So small angle approximations can be used up till 2 meter for sure. Okay, so I'll get this one here, and remember cos theta naught is already 1 minus cos square theta, I wrote it as sin square theta. This is the expression. Now I'll use small angle approximation. Sin theta is theta for small angles. So y is approximately theta square by b for these kind of heights. Similarly, I borrow the previous answer x, that big expression that I got. You remember this one. In this one also, you understand that theta naught is 0. So this term is gone. This term is gone. You'll end up getting only 2 theta plus sin 2 theta. And fun is that sin 2 theta is also 2 theta for small angles. So you'll just need to add up 2 theta and 2 theta, and then you'll get x is directly proportional to theta. I think you can square this and divide this one, and you'll end up getting a parabolic expression for small heights. This is the answer that you need to write, and nicely substitute y is equal to 2, and b expression has been given. So you need to be good with your calculations, and you get approximately 89.68 meters. So this is the solution for the INPHO problem number 1. As I keep saying, we are doing the Olympiad workout series, so we'll be solving all the INPHO papers. All the IPHO, APHO papers will come later as we increase the level, and also the other Olympiad exams happening over the world, like OPHO is another exam. Already we did one question last time. This is another question I would like you to solve. I'll give you 1 or 2 days time. So please do try this question. It's a very important concept related to not just Olympiad, but also for your IIT JEE. It's based on oscillations. And for those who are new and following this video for the first time, there is a Olympiad workout series to check what kind of problems we have already solved. There is a playlist for that I have created. The link is in the description below. So please do go there and try to check out the videos that you have already missed, and so that you can go along with the rest of the people. Okay, right. Thanks for watching out, and let's meet next time again in the Olympiad workout series with uh, another question. Okay, so if you have liked this video, please do give it a thumbs up, share it with your peer group. Try to help out as many students as possible. I'm trying to reach out to as many students so that my experience gets used by them. And subscribe to my channel in case you have liked the content. After going through the playlist, you decide whether to subscribe or not. Okay, thank you. See you next time.